wanna poo. Of course. Come on. Come on, pretty girl. Good girl. Come on. It's massage time. Oh, you're such a good girl. Hey? Yeah.
So today is the first day that I have introduced the hind quarter yield towards me. You saw in the previous video where I got her to do it away from me and then we transferred the cues to towards me. And she did it really well and she picked it up really easily and I was super proud of her. I do this because when we go out trail riding, if I have a fall off or if I ever have to get off to help anything or do whatever, and then I have to try and get back on because I'm not that flexible, which I should be, but I'm not. I want to be able to get up onto something and then I want them to be able to come over and pick me up from the object. Also, if I'm out somewhere at a competition or wherever I am, I can always ask them to come and pick me up and I don't have to be flapping around and trying to get them to get close and all those kind of things. You saw me just before put my leg up over her. I've been doing this. This is the first day that I've been doing this. Been just trying to get her confident with me being up above her and my leg touching her everywhere. Been putting my leg over her. You can see she gets a little worried at some stages, so we just kind of go back, make sure that she's okay with it, and retry. It's all about growing her confidence and mine as well, because I've got to believe in her that she's not going to block me off or anything. And I want to be able to touch her in all the funky places with my legs before I am up on there. So I'll ask her to step over towards me. She does really well. I always ask for like the first step
and wait for them to do it. At some stages you'll see me asking for her to step over, and she doesn't quite step over, but she does line up to the block a lot better, so I will leave it at that, because my ultimate goal with asking for the step over is just for her to line up to something. I'm not really properly refining it just yet. And there I pretty much had most of my weight on her at one stage, and she did really well. But again, I'm building confidence, I'm not pushing her too far, and I'm just kind of seeing how she goes, seeing how her back is, seeing what her brain's doing, and yeah, just going from there. So this is the next day after that previous video, and we are just going back through what we did on that previous day, trying to get her to come over. I've now switched whips and I'm using my dressage whip because it's a lot lighter for me to use, and I can be a lot more precise when asking her to come over. You'll see me using it a bit, and most of the time I'm just really tapping. It's not hurting her at all, it's just asking her to come over. And she does really well. So I always start the sessions off with groundwork first, which you haven't seen in this video, but I did it. We always do a bit of lunging, so making sure that she's not sore anywhere or lame or anything like that, so you go both directions. I also like it because I can do it to get a bit more listening from her, to see where she's kind of at, and to get her feet moving. And then we do a bit of hindquarter yield, forequarter yield, and sideways, just to get a bit of body control, and then just to touch base, make sure that she's listening and then that she's prepared for this kind of exercise. And then as you can see, when we transfer it onto the mounting block, she knows exactly what I'm asking of her. She's still not 100% sure of what I'm asking, and sometimes she guesses and it is the wrong answer that I'm asking for, but I just keep with it and keep asking her, and eventually she figures it out and goes, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. So then she does it and we reward, and she's very good. So I'm just doing a bit more preparation work before I properly sit on her. I'm also asking her to drop her head to relax and take in what we're doing. I find when their heads are right up in the air, they're not always thinking about me, they're thinking about other things. So once we do something, I always try and get them to lower their head to think about it. Here you can see I had most of my weight on her, but I still hadn't quite put my foot off the mounting block. So there I've got all my weight on her again, and I still have my foot on the block just in case something spooks her or her back hurts or whatever. I can quickly dismount, but she obviously doesn't really care, so we keep progressing. Now this was one long video, but my phone decided to turn off, so we didn't get my first time that I sat on her, but this is pretty much how it went. This is after quite a few goes of me sitting on her and getting her to hindquarter yield, but she was so good and did not react at all. She was super calm and she was just really awesome at it. And this is pretty much how it went. So I like to use my whip first instead of using my legs, because when I do groundwork, obviously I use my whip to help enforce cues and teach them the cues. So it's easier for me and her to ask her to move her bottom or any part of her body using my whip first rather than my legs. So here I am asking for her to hindquarter yield, but she doesn't quite understand, so I am rewarding any kind of movement. She kind of thought that she had to move towards me, so I'm just going to keep asking to see if she'll move away from it. And she moved her body that first time, so I rewarded that, and then she moved her legs as well, which was really awesome. And she did really well. There I kind of bumped her with my foot up on her back, and she did a little bit of a, oh my goodness, but I was super proud of that response. And then whatever we do on one side, we always have to do on the other side, so I remount and ask for the other side of her body and see how she goes, which she does really well. And yeah, over the next few days we'll just keep working on refining the cues and getting her to properly move away when I ask and move towards when I ask, instead of getting a bit confused and just guessing what I want. And we'll start asking for forward movement and backwards movement when I'm on top of her, and ultimately hopefully we can go for a proper ride out in the paddock or on the trails on next weekend. But we'll see how we go. Finished off the session with a really fun little exercise of her following the bike. I don't have a quad or anything to follow, so we use the bike. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, please give it a like. Please subscribe to our channel as it really helps us out. And share it if you want. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye!